in your experience in this field, what are the traits that you have seen top negotiators have? Commonalities among them.
Okay. So actually there are 8 very obvious ones.
Okay.
And this has been researched by, I can't remember now. It's actually taught in Harvard Business School also.
Okay.
Okay. One of the most obvious things is the great we call them skilled negotiators, master negotiators, talk less. Average negotiators try to talk too much, hard sell too much, people walk away. Because you're trying to sell what you want to sell. You don't identify my need. They actually did timing, They did a few cases. They observed actual professional negotiations in business. And they actually put down timing. How many hours were spent on what behavior. And average negotiators listened, or I should say master negotiators listened 3 times more than average negotiators. And master negotiator asked 3 times more questions than average negotiators. Okay, so one was asking, one more is listening. So average negotiators don't do these 2 enough. Now, next thing is, you talk about also the other factor about master negotiators is they don't counter immediately. You tell me this, no, but the other person, no sir, you cannot say that. Ours is, so you go this ding dong. Master negotiators don't do that. Oh, they're giving you a better price. Oh, really? Can you tell me more? As I listen to you, I know whether it's an apple to apple or not. And as you tell me more, I also try to identify, oh, actually this is important to you. So average negotiators counter too quickly. So master negotiators don't. They listen, oh, okay, interesting. Can you tell me more, sir? So if this and this, so price and quality and this, which would be more important for you, sir? Ask question again. All 3 important, correct, sir, but if you have to choose between the 3, the most important one, of course, quality. Then price not so important, no? So then you talk about that. So that's how you will negotiate. The other one is, we call it irritators. There's a word, irritators. So for example, average negotiators like to do this. Come on, sir, you're not being fair. The moment you do that, you're calling me unfair, no? Tak boleh. So you cannot use those kind of words. Plus, please, sir, be reasonable, sir. Are you calling me unreasonable? So we don't want to use those words. Average negotiators will do this. They think they're trying to be empathetic. No. You are indirectly calling me unfair, unreasonable,
Heartless.
Correct. So we don't. So master negotiators, they really are careful, because I can see that it's so easy to trigger the other person off. You see, especially if I'm new, I'm going to a market with mature players. You already have a supplier. I'm going to penetrate, and I go and affect you or provoke you with the wrong words. I don't want to work with you. Forget it. So there's one. Another one is we call it internal dialogue.
Okay.
Internal dialogue means average negotiators, sometimes they speak first, thing later. Okay. And when they speak first, they might say things and they might label the other person in the wrong way. So for example, sir, sir, no, you don't understand what I'm saying. You just accuse me, no?
Ooh,
you don't understand what I'm saying.
I've heard that.
Oh, mampus. I don't understand. You are not clear, brother. Not, I don't understand, So master negotiators never do that.
So you make things awkward, lah.
You make it awkward. No, sir, you don't understand. No, sir, you're not listening, sir.
No way, man. I've heard that also.
So you're making a small thing into a big issue. You cannot do that. Sir, no, it's not fair, sir, if you compare us with the other company, because no, they're not fair, sir. How? Cannot. So average negotiators do that with the effort to try to correct perception. But you screwed up the relationship, lah. Confirm. You just accuse me, and you might not even be aware. So what masters negotiators will do is, when it comes to negative labeling, they stop themselves. They try their best. So let's say, for example, I have been told by the client that mine is too expensive. So you say, well, expensive, sir, we normally like to call ourselves premium, sir, but competitive. I wouldn't tell you, no, sir, you cannot say that. I wouldn't say that. Or if you say expensive, sir, expensive? Who are you comparing to, sir? I'm comparing like India. They told me, Suresh, you are 5 times more expensive. I said, 5 times more expensive? Compared to our other trainers. Also, your trainers are from where? From which country? No, from India. I said, no, I'm not from India. But you're Suresh, right? I said, yeah. I said, no, I'm Malaysian. No, so you're Suresh, you're Indian.
Suddenly,
Suddenly. So I'm like, okay. So I said, if you want, international, because they got to know me from Singapore and Philippines. So I said, Philippines and Singapore told you about me from Malaysia. So this is international rate because I am from Malaysia. So 1 year relationship, 1 year negotiation. So master negotiators will never label negative behavior. Internal dialogue goes on, okay, chill, stop, think differently. But we label positive behavior. Oh, thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for giving us the time. Thank you for allowing us to come back again. So I will label all positive behavior. So that's what master negotiators do. And they catch themselves doing it. You see? So these are some of the things. I can't remember all 100% now, but these are some of the things master negotiators do consistently. And it's measured.
This is just a personal thing because it's bringing back a lot of negotiations I've been part of, especially when my home. So when we were doing renovations, and I remember we were bouncing between a few contractors. I didn't go for one guy, even though his rates were lower than another group, another person. Although I was already favoring the other side, but this guy had a chance lah. Simply because in the negotiations he said, even before I asked, he said, "I'll give you a cheaper price."
Oh, okay. So you didn't go for him?
I didn't go for him because it felt as if he was saying that I'm not capable of paying that X amount.
Oh, you felt that way?
No, because the way the thing about communication, people often forget that it's not just what you say; it's how
you say it. Yeah,
how you say it, right? Like for example, if somebody says, "Okay," say I ask him, "Hey, bro, can give some nego?" Okay, sir, for you I give. You see, he's doing the same thing.
Right.
But he's doing it because I asked, or at least which we talked earlier, that buffer zone. But this guy, without even me asking, he said, and he looked, he had a look. He said, "Okay, for you I give cheaper." I said, "Okay."
Oh, you think I can afford it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I give another just to compare for this unit, for this studio. The guy is a very nice Indian man and his son. They run a business together. And he patted me on the back. Elderly man lah. He said, "No, I also when I started, I was started from ground up and all. No, we'll support you. We'll give you a good price and all." So and for forever since then, whatever work I do, I'll go with him.
Okay.
Because that is care.
Right.
He's not insulting me. So is the way you frame things also
important? Of course, very important.
Like what you were talking about comparison. Huh?
Yeah, it's true. So the negotiator makes a lot of difference. That global negotiation that we did, when we reenacted the actual, because it was based on actual negotiation, big deal. The result was not because the offer was not good. It was because the negotiator was very arrogant. They lost the deal. And this was a German company losing a deal to a Japanese company. Product actually inferior. If you talk about product to product, apple to apple, the Germans also had it. Price, you would say Japanese slightly cheaper lah, but the features of the German product were much better. And for the client, they did not need all those features, but they still could compare lah. And the Germans were giving a few other things which were maybe the Japanese were not giving. But for the client, they saw, okay, worst case scenario, we don't need all those other fancy stuff, but they have it so good. As we grow, we can also use lah. But because the negotiator was so arrogant, and when we reenacted, the actual negotiator was also in the class. And he said, actually, this is what really happened, Suresh. And what was actually the issue was, his mentality was, you are still thinking, not going with us? What is there? It's a straightforward, straight-cut decision. How can you even compare? So when you say that, the customer is like, go to hell. Before I even close the deal with you, you already behave this way. Can you imagine after the deal is closed? You see? And so they went for the Japanese brand. It's as simple as that. Even though you have a solid product, you have competitive pricing, but the way you make me feel emotional, the emotions in the negotiation.
So then that's interesting. So what's your thoughts on the role of ego and emotion in a negotiation?
Oh, very important. Because so many role plays you do, right? The easiest way for the negotiation to go sideways is the ego clash. So respect, how you start the conversation, how you disagree, all that makes a difference. That's communication skills. So when you go into negotiation, people always think, price. Price is beside the point. One of my clients, they said, Suresh, train all our so these are called territory. It's an oil and gas company lah. So and they are very specific. The trainer must have experience. So I got the deal because I shared a lot of my own experiences. And they said price is not a negotiation, not on table, Suresh. We are not going to talk about price, and we are the most expensive in the market, and we know it, and we are very happy with it. We want to be the most expensive. So you still have to get my people to go and negotiate for better deals with the other side without us reducing our price. So how? So I give them 10 questions when I do my research. What are the value propositions that you give? Give me the information about your competitor also. So I also need to know, about your competitor. So they gave me, and then I asked them for 6, they gave me 26. So I used the 6 best ones, and we did in the class. And you can still close the deal apart from price. The value has to be enough for the other side to want to give you a higher price, or if you're, depends on buyer or seller. So you can. Price is only one element.
But when is the right time, or is there maybe a red flag or something, then now is the time to walk away from this?
Oh yeah, I mean, because you know what is your, okay, so let's talk about, so price is one. Below this, doesn't make dollar and cent, yeah, you walk away lah. Now, if it's not dollar, if not price, maybe it's credit terms. Or maybe it is like in IT, yeah, it's not so much about price, it's about scope of work. And with the timeline I have, scope of work that I have, this timeline, this scope of work, Mr. Customer, susah. Cannot. How much you pay me also, this timeline, this scope of work cannot, unless I increase labor or manpower, and then it's possible. But that will take some time also. So you must know what is possible, what is not possible. And if it hits there, then okay, walk away. Right? But it must be that lah. And negotiations, if you're talking about pasar malam negotiations, I want to buy 2 kilos of carrots. This is the price. There's nothing to negotiate lah. That's called a win-lose negotiation. That's what we call a distributive negotiation. It's one item price, either one will get more. If you still stick to your price you're selling to me, if I buy, you get your margin. If you give me a discount, I save, but you lose margin. Somebody will win, somebody will lose. That you do pasar malam. But even in pasar malam, you want to get a good deal, don't just buy carrots lah. Buy saya, buy what? Buy some cabbage, buy some broccoli. Here you make more, here you lose a bit. So you overall, they get more, they sell more, you get some savings. Okay. So never get stuck on one item in a negotiation. Then you are heading for a win-lose negotiation.
What do you mean one item? You mean one clause?
That means if one item is price, one item is timeline, one item is scope. If you're only going to talk to me about scope of work, there's only one item there, no? Then it's either I want to do 7 things in 1 month. You say I can only do 4 things. So now I no deal. If I say I want this in 7 days, you say no, 3 days. You're only talking about time. You're not talking about scope of work. You add the scope of work into that equation, we can negotiate. You talk about only price. No, Suresh, this price, that's it. Finish. I say, but what about delivery? What about warranty? I must add these elements so I have negotiation power with you. If not, it becomes a win-lose deal.